We're going to look at now is first break picking in VISTA. First break picking is done in the Seismic window display. First break picks are used for QCing, obviously, data sets 2D, 3D. They're used in refraction statics calculation or in the attribute window under station prediction, source or receivers. So we can see we've got our icon for first break. When we go into there, actually it's going to put it into shot ensemble and offset. The assumption is that that's what you would pick in. You can obviously change to any other ensemble, offset pick, etc. What I'll do is I'll just scroll along here. If we look at the toolbar at the top, of course we've got these to go to the various other tools in the Seismic display. We've got an open and save. These are for outputting or saving the first break picks out to a text file, allow you to import other types of first break picks from third party, or save out the current picks if they're required. When you're picking, the first breaks are automatically saved to the VISTA headers, so you don't have to worry about saving the picks. We then have the options, and then these relate to manually picking with a pilot trace, auto picking given the parameters set for first break on the current ensemble record, auto picking all of the records or the entire data set. Resetting the first breaks, just resetting them back to unpicked, and then the XT view is actually quite a good view for QCing, and we'll get into that in a bit. So let's look at our options. Two main methods of picking are sliding window with the threshold and the search. The search is straightforward, simply uses the search window, searches within there, and then in either case when it does a pick, it actually does a calculation of the fractional. So depending on the peak, trough, up 0, down 0, it's going to be a fractional pick for the first break. The sliding window, it makes use of the sliding window and the threshold. It's going to do, so the sliding window is less than the search window. It's going to do calculation of amplitudes and ratios along with the threshold to determine where best to pick. At that point, it's going to do a search based on what the users defined they're looking for, and then make a fractional pick at that point. It can use the linear move out, which we've gone into before, to help restrict where it's searching. When you're manually picking, you can turn on the search mode, and then it's going to search depending on what you're looking for, or you can force it. Let's just go into here. I'm just going to reduce the amplitudes with the minus key. Manually pick, it's just simply click the mouse and release. You can see how that works. So it's searching for peaks on here within that particular window. If we hold the shift key down, that actually unpicks traces. If we hold the right key down, we can get to the first break options at this point. That's manual picking. So depending on these options, we can use the record and we can auto pick on that, so we see that it's automatically just picked on that, and it's actually using the linear move out, which has already been defined for this project. There we go. Automatically picked again on there. The pilot is just simply the first trace that you pick as a pilot, and it's going to cross-correlate along there. Let's look at a couple other options in here. We can display the previous picks here. So these are previous picks. We can see the color. The previous ensemble. I'll just turn that off. Cross-correlate. These all relate to the pilot picking. Cross-correlation window, once you've got a pilot trace, it'll cross-correlate. You can run a bandpass on that, and that's used for the auto-picking with the pilot trace. We can limit our offsets as we're picking and unpick those outside, if you wish. So the other options in here is we can auto-pick, given we've defined our parameters, and see we've auto-picked the entire record. One of the things that's interesting to look at is the QC. And in here we can see, this is a smaller data set, but as I'm holding the shift key down, we can see those picks. Let's go into a larger data set, 2D land crooked. And I'll go into here. I'll go into first breaks. And we can see when I pull up this QC, and I'll tie that window. One of the interesting facts in here, if I zoom in, I can see there's lots of different color codes for the type of color that we're running in the background of that. So this is a quick and easy way to find bad first breaks, or actually a way to in 3D look at a large data set and find bad shots. We can actually kill traces related in here. Example 2 is for the broadcast and interactivity of these windows. If we come in here and manually pick, we can see how that's automatically updated on that window. So this QC, and we can look at either in shot order, receiver order, or field record order. So it's we'll come in there, do that, and we'll auto pick those records along there. So the first break, the XT view is actually quite a handy tool in first break picking. So that's a general overview of first break picking in VISTA under the Seismic window display.